Welcome back to Newsmakers. I'm Jess Todfeld. We have a very special topic today. Penguins. Dyan DiNapoli is my guest, and she is a penguin expert, also known as the Penguin Lady. She's an educator, author of a brand new book called The Great Penguin Rescue, 40,000 Penguins, a Devastating Oil Spill, and the inspiring story of the world's largest animal rescue. And she was a senior penguin aquarist at Boston's prestigious New England Aquarium. And by the way, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
For coming here. So much that I want to ask you. And one of the things is, I know that you've worked with taught more than 250,000 people about penguins.
I have.
You are, I guess that's where you earned the name, the Penguin Lady?
It is. I actually earned that name because when I worked at the New England Aquarium, people would come into the building, they'd see me in the penguin exhibit surrounded by 70 penguins in my wetsuit and say, "Look, it's a Penguin Lady." So the name sort of stuck when I started my own business.
Very interesting. How did you even come to work with penguins?
It was a very circuitous route. I actually have always loved animals, but when I was a small child, I became enamored with dolphins and wanted to become a dolphin trainer. And so I returned to college in my 30s to do that, to pursue that career. But in the course of that, I had an internship at the New England Aquarium with the penguins. And as soon as I stepped foot in the exhibit, I was captivated, and that was it.
All right. Tell me something about penguins people would be surprised to hear.
Well, I think people think there's millions and millions of penguins and lots of, no problem with the populations. And it's true that for the 4 species that live in Antarctica, that there are millions of them, but most penguin populations have declined by 90%.
90%?
90% in the last 100 years alone. And so 14 of those 18 penguin species are threatened with extinction. And so, we really have to think about what we're doing to protect them moving forward.
And you've been to Antarctica?
I've been, yeah. I was very lucky to be the penguin expert and guest lecturer on a ship going to Antarctica last year. And it was an
That means they paid her and she got to go and have fun in any way.
It was a free trip to Antarctica, which was really, really nice.
Right.
And of course, it's just a heaven for penguin lovers. There's penguins everywhere. But one of the things that really, really surprised me when we were there was it was raining on the Antarctic Peninsula, which is not something I ever expected to see. And this is one of the impacts of global warming.
Right.
So they're now seeing rain in a place where there's never been rain before.
That was my next question. Does it rain there often? You would expect it's just a frozen tundra.
It is a desert. It's literally one of the windiest, driest, coldest places on Earth, and it's termed a desert.
Really?
It is, yeah. And so to have rain there is highly unusual. Up until about 15 years ago, they'd never seen it, but now they are starting to see it, and it's affecting the penguin breeding.
So you were faced smack in the face with global warming. You looked around and said, oh, here it is.
Absolutely.
And for the average person who hears what you're saying right now, who's listening, who says, I'd love to make a difference. Penguins look cute. Obviously, you've studied them way beyond what we'll even get to talk about today. What can people do to somehow make a difference?
It is important that we do, because penguins are the canary in the coal mine. So when we see them, their populations disappearing, it means our oceans are dying as well. And so some of the things that they can do is to think about their impact on a daily basis on the planet. So to reduce their carbon output, reduce global warming through reducing the reliance on fossil fuels, and sort of simple steps that they can do to maybe drive a hybrid instead of buying a gasoline-fueled vehicle, to carpool, to not use as much plastic because plastic is made from oil. So there's a lot of different things that we can do every day to help penguins and the environment.
And this has a trickle effect towards the penguins, which you're happy about and concerned about. I suspect you're also concerned about the entire planet as well.
Exactly.
And making sure that other generations are taken care of.
Right.
Now, in terms of the book, were you part of the rescue? Where do you fit in?
Yeah, I actually had been working at the New England Aquarium for 3 years when the ship named the Treasure sank off the coast of South Africa. So I was very, very privileged to be able to go and work as a supervisor to help manage more than 12,500 volunteers who flew to South Africa or came there from all over the world to help save these penguins. And so I was there for the first 3 weeks of this rescue effort that lasted for 3.5 months. And in the end, we were very successful, saved 95% of those birds.
Wow. Amazing.
It was
90% are dying out?
90% of most of the populations, there are 18 species, and 14 of those 18 species are threatened or endangered. And so those penguins have all declined by about 90% in the last 100 years. So it's a very, very rapid decline.
Right. As soon as you said canary in a coal mine, I got a little nervous there if you said that's really a barometer for the rest of the world. Any nice uplifting note, as they are beautiful creatures, and I suspect if we go to your website we could see plenty of pictures of one of your various trips and some of the things that you've been up to.
Yeah, I took about 20,000 pictures in Antarctica. So
you did?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of information on my website, as well as a list of organizations that people can donate to if they want to do something to help penguins. And I also have an appendix in my book that has a list of a lot of different organizations that rescue and research about penguins. So if people want to help in that way, they can do so that way as well.
So, website address is?
thepenguinlady.com.
That's so easy. It's so easy. Yeah. Dyan DiNapoli, so great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Jess.
Thank you.